March 19, 1987, India. Metal shutters slam down over one of the city's most famous jewelry stores. Men in plain clothes flash government badges and bark orders. They empty display cases. They confiscate firearms. They bag $400,000 in gold and cash, all in broad daylight, with the owner's full cooperation. But here's what's insane. These officers aren't criminals. They're 26 job seekers who answered a classified ad 2 days ago. They think they're serving their country. They have no idea they're robbing it. The man who recruited them calls himself Mon Singh. He's not police. He isn't even using his real name. And within the hour, he'll vanish with every dollar, leaving his own team to take the fall. How did he turn patriots into criminals? And did they ever manage to catch him? March 17, 1987, 2 days before the heist. In the classified section of the Times of India, a peculiar advertisement catches the eye of job seekers across the city. Tucked between listings for sales clerks and accountants, it reads, "Dynamic graduates for intelligence officers, post, and security officers post." No agency name or phone number, just an address and a time. The Taj Intercontinental Hotel, room 415, tomorrow between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. For dozens of young graduates scraping by in Mumbai's brutal job market, this looks like the opportunity of a lifetime, a gateway into India's intelligence apparatus, the kind of role that comes with respect, stability, and purpose. The next morning, the Taj's marble lobby fills with candidates clutching resumes and dreams. They're greeted by a single man in his mid-40s, sharp suit, upright posture, and an ID badge bearing the Ashoka pillar emblem clipped to his pocket. He introduces himself only as Singh. The candidates assume he's a senior intelligence officer from Delhi. Who else would recruit spies at a 5-star hotel? Singh ushers small groups into a rented suite on the 4th floor, an arrangement he improvised after hotel management refused to let him hold mass interviews in the lobby. The sessions are brisk and strange. He doesn't ask about qualifications or experience. He doesn't review resumes. Instead, he probes for something else entirely. Are you prepared to work on classified missions? Can you follow orders without question or explanation? How far would you go to serve your country? The candidates sit up straight. Yes, sir. Anything, sir. If you've ever wanted something badly enough to ignore the warning signs, you understand exactly what's happening in that room. Mon Singh isn't screening for competence. He's screening for compliance. One applicant presses for details about the role. Singh's expression hardens. Thank you. We'll be in touch. The interview ends in under a minute. Another candidate barely speaks beyond pledging absolute obedience. Singh nods. Report tomorrow. Further instructions will follow. By sundown, Singh has selected his final 26. The most eager, the most compliant, the ones who ask the fewest questions. He tells them they've been accepted into a special clandestine unit. Training begins immediately. What qualification did these men share? Not education, physical fitness, or investigative instinct. They shared one trait Mon Singh needed above all else: the willingness to obey without understanding why. March 19, 1987. Early morning. The recruits assemble at the Taj at 11 a.m. Mon Singh is waiting with props to cement their new identities. He distributes crisp identity cards emblazoned with the national emblem and the words Central Bureau of Investigation, Probationary Officer. Each man receives one, along with a directive. These IDs are classified and must be worn at all times during the upcoming mission. Some recruits stand a little taller as they slip the badges into their pockets. At that moment, they believe they've joined India's elite. Before noon, Singh briefs his squad on their first assignment. He explains this is a final test exercise, a mock raid on a business suspected of serious tax evasion and fraud. The target is a prominent jewelry showroom whose owner has been hoarding undeclared assets and cheating the government for years. Singh paints Pratap Zaveri as a villain bleeding the nation for personal gain. "This is your chance to do your duty," he tells them. "Hit the corrupt where it hurts." The men exchange glances of determination. Not one questions the hush-hush recruiting. Not one asks why there's no official paperwork beyond the warrant Singh holds. They have badges, a clear enemy, and a mission that makes them feel like heroes. But he gives them one final order before they move out: absolute secrecy. "No one outside this room knows anything about this raid," Singh warns. The recruits nod. Some are giddy with adrenaline. Others steel their nerves. In minutes, they'll be on the move for their first mission. Not one of these 26 men suspects their commander's every word is a lie. They believe they're about to serve justice. In reality, they're walking into the most audacious con in Indian history, and they're the ones holding the bags. If you're picking up what Mon Singh was really building here, hit that like button and subscribe, because the execution of this heist is about to reveal just how deeply he'd studied the psychology of authority. The stage is set, the players are cast. By day's end, these men won't be upholding the law, they'll be breaking it spectacularly. But first, they need to reach the target, and the route Mon Singh chose will test his deception in ways even he couldn't fully predict. March 19th. Mon Singh's makeshift unit converges at the gateway of India, just steps from the Taj. Parked nearby is a shiny, air-conditioned tourist bus, the kind that ferries sightseers to Elephanta Caves. Today, it will serve a far more audacious purpose. The recruits file in, dressed in plain clothes but carrying themselves like an official brigade. Mon Singh stands at the front, scanning for jitters. He finds none. The men's faces brim with resolve. As far as they're concerned, they're on the verge of a heroic takedown. The bus rumbles to life and merges into Mumbai's midday chaos. Inside, the atmosphere crackles with nervous energy. A few recruits review the fake search warrant Singh distributed, memorizing phrases they might need to recite: tax evasion, undeclared assets, and suspected smuggling ties. Others exchange grins and whisper, "This is it, our first mission." One young man rehearses his lines under his breath, imagining the moment he'll flash his badge at a real criminal. Another stares out the window, mentally composing the letter he'll write to his parents about his new career in intelligence. Singh himself remains focused, cradling a briefcase containing official-looking paperwork and sealing materials for evidence. He knows every detail must be perfect. One slip, one suspicious glance from a real cop, and the whole operation collapses. Then something remarkable happens. The city's own authorities grant them right of way. At a congested intersection near Marine Drive, a traffic constable spots the bus full of serious-looking men and a placard on the dashboard reading, "On Government Duty." The officer snaps to attention and waves them through with a respectful salute. Mon Singh watches from his seat, a slight smile tugging at his lips. His disguise is working better than he'd hoped. By hiding in plain sight, he's turned Mumbai's real lawmen into unwitting allies. How do you convince a traffic cop to salute your getaway vehicle? You don't threaten him. You don't bribe him. You simply look like you belong. And Mon Singh looked like he owned the city. The bus heads north into the bustle of South Bombay. Singh signals the driver to pull over near Charni Road Station, a few blocks from their target. He instructs the driver and conductor to wait. This is as far as the tour group goes. The recruits disembark, and Singh leads them on foot toward Opera House. To keep his team composed and synchronize timing, Singh even pauses at Chowpatty Beach to buy the men cold drinks, a brief refreshment break that doubles as cover for his final briefing. Standing on the sand with the Arabian Sea behind him, he reviews each man's role one last time. 2:15 p.m. Showtime. The team arrives at the Opera House branch of Tribhuvandas Bhimji Zaveri Jewelers, one of Mumbai's most trusted names in gold. The street is busy with shoppers and office workers on lunch break, but that doesn't slow the squad. Mon Singh straightens his jacket and gives the signal. A pair of recruits station themselves at the entrance, CBI badges dangling conspicuously. One tapes a notice to the glass door. CBI raid, do not enter. The rest funnel in behind Singh, who strides into the cool, gleaming showroom like he's done this 100 times. Inside, customers and staff freeze at the sudden influx of strangers. A security guard opens his mouth to challenge them, but a recruit shoves an ID card in his face. Central Bureau of Investigation. Surprise raid. The guard's confusion flips to instant compliance. His hand drops from his holstered sidearm. He steps back. Across the showroom, salespeople and patrons stand paralyzed mid-transaction as Mon Singh declares, in a voice cold enough to crack glass, "Everyone stay calm. We are government officers conducting an inspection." In a blink, the dynamic shifts. The civilians now look to these strangers for direction, too frightened to object. Why would they? The badges look real. The warrant looks real. The authority in Singh's voice sounds real. And in that moment, perception becomes reality. Mon Singh heads directly for the owner, Pratap Zaveri, who has emerged from his back office at the commotion. Singh fixes him with a steely gaze. "Are you Pratap Zaveri?" The older man nods, bewildered. "I'm Officer Singh from the Intelligence Department. We have a warrant to search these premises." He brandishes the stamped document. Two recruits flank the owner as Singh lowers his voice. "Don't panic. This is routine. If your books are clean, you have nothing to worry about." The jeweler swallows hard. Tax raids and irregularities. The words land like hammer blows. He stammers that his business is legitimate, but Singh is already in motion, flicking his hand to send his squad fanning through the store. The raid has begun. What made Zaveri cooperate so completely? Not the warrant, he never examined it closely. Not the badges, he never checked a single serial number. It was the certainty in Mon Singh's voice. Certainty is the most dangerous weapon a con artist carries. Within seconds, the operation kicks into high gear. One recruit locates the fuse box and kills power to the CCTV cameras. Another yanks the telephone line from its socket, no outgoing calls. A third approaches a petrified floor manager. "Show me the vault and any secured lockers, now." The employees, seeing their boss quietly acquiescing, hurry to comply. Behind a display counter, the manager produces a locked strongbox with trembling hands. A recruit pries it open. Stacks of cash, a pile of gold bars. "Unaccounted funds, sir," he calls out to Singh, holding up bundles of rupee notes. Singh nods, face stern. "Seize it as evidence." While half the squad works inside, the rest maintain a perimeter. The front door is locked, the notice posted. Curious passers-by see a government operation in progress and keep walking. Inside, Zaveri watches in numb silence as strangers rifle through showcases of his finest wares, necklaces, bangles, rings accumulated over decades. This feels surreal, but the fear of a government crackdown keeps him compliant. When a recruit discovers the store's licensed revolver in a drawer and pulls it out, Zaveri doesn't protest. He simply hands over the firearms permit. Mon Singh checks his watch. His timing is near perfect. Not a single real police constable has appeared to question this raid. The shop's routine afternoon call from the security company will soon go unanswered. But by the time anyone wonders why, Singh plans to be long gone. For the next 45 minutes, the probationary officers execute their sham raid with bureaucratic precision. Moving display by display, they catalog and confiscate valuables as if preparing for a government audit. Every glittering piece of gold gets logged in a leather-bound ledger, then sealed into transparent evidence bags stamped with serial numbers Singh had printed the week before. Necklaces, heavy with kundan work, delicate filigree earrings, 22-carat chains, all tagged and packed away, ostensibly bound for a government vault. A dutiful employee even helps a recruit weigh gold bars on the store's own precision scale, scribbling figures on a form Singh provided. In the back office, 2 men tally cash from registers, and safe, stacking bundle after bundle of rupees into briefcases. The crisp notes smell of ink and possibility. It's an oddly orderly robbery. Not a single display case is smashed. Not one threatening word is uttered. The place feels less like a crime scene and more like an evidence room being professionally processed. That's exactly what Mon Singh intended. Violence draws attention, but paperwork inspires trust. Every passing second, they're walking a tightrope. If anyone notices a misspelling on a fake ID, if a passerby questions why the CBI arrived in a tourist bus, the charade collapses. But in this critical hour, not a soul inside or outside the shop doubts these men are exactly who they claim to be. The gamble is paying off. By 3 p.m., Mon Singh's team has assembled a haul worth an estimated $400,000, gold bars, jewelry, and cash. This is the moment he's been waiting for. Phase 1 is complete. Singh snaps shut the final briefcase and addresses the room. We'll be moving this material off-site for analysis. You two, he points to a pair of recruits, carry these to the bus. They obey without hesitation, lugging the treasure-laden cases out the front door to the waiting coach. Singh turns to the remaining men. Hold this position until I return. I'm going to supervise another raid. It's standard procedure. The squad nods. Multiple raids in a single day barely raise an eyebrow. Their commander is a high-ranking operative after all. Singh gives Zaveri a parting look. Thank you for your cooperation. I'll return shortly to finalize the paperwork. Then the mastermind steps into the afternoon sun. He climbs onto the bus with the briefcases and signals the driver. The vehicle roars off and disappears around the corner. Mon Singh and every rupee of evidence is gone. Inside the jewelry store, a strange calm lingers. The recruits left behind stand guard as ordered, keeping staff and customers in place. For a few minutes, they bask in the afterglow of a successful mission, trading quiet grins. One young man, adrenaline still pulsing, remarks, "Went pretty well, huh?" His partner manages a nervous chuckle. Too well. They expect Singh to return any minute, perhaps with congratulations or new instructions. But minutes turn into tens of minutes. The initial rush fades. A heavy silence settles over the showroom. Zaveri fidgets behind his counter, eyeing the door. One recruit checks his watch. It's been over half an hour since Singh left. A knot forms in his stomach. Where is he? The plan was for Singh to process the haul and come right back, wasn't it? The recruits exchange uneasy glances. They've followed orders to the letter. But the longer they stand idle, the more something feels wrong. A creeping realization dawns on a few of them. Around 4 p.m., a recruit clears his throat. Maybe we should call someone? He doesn't finish the thought. The awful truth is already spreading through the room like a virus. This was never a real operation. Zaveri's voice cuts through the silence, brittle with fury. "Where is your boss? Is he coming back?" No one answers. One recruit, the same eager young man from the interview, feels a hot sting of shame in his eyes. He rips the CBI badge from his neck and slumps against the wall, hands on his head. He thinks of his parents, who celebrated when he told them about the government job. He thinks of the pride in his father's voice. Another recruit throws his cap to the ground and kicks a display case in fury, not at Singh, but at himself for being so blind. The store employees begin murmuring, their terror giving way to confusion. The officers no longer look like enforcers. They look like children who wandered into the wrong room and can't find the exit. At 4:15 p.m., the spell shatters completely. Zaveri marches to the telephone, the one the recruits reconnected when they thought the raid was over, and makes the call he should have made an hour ago, to the real police. Sirens wail down the road within minutes. 2 Mumbai police vans screech to a halt outside the shop. What the officers find inside is perfect irony. Shell-shocked imposters who, an hour earlier, swaggered as lawmen, now standing with hands raised in surrender. The recruits don't resist. They can't. They're too numb. Scattered on the floor lie the remnants of their counterfeit authority, discarded ID cards, crumpled badges, dropped evidence bags. The daylight robbery is over. But for Mumbai's authorities, a far harder question has just begun. Who is Mon Singh, and where did he vanish with $400,000 in gold? In the hours after the heist, Mumbai's law enforcement scrambles to understand what just happened. The men in custody aren't hardened criminals. They're bewildered graduates telling a story so absurd, investigators struggle to believe it. A stranger in a suit weaponized the symbols of state authority and walked out of one of Mumbai's most reputable jewelry stores with a fortune. When detectives piece together the timeline, the classified ad, the luxury hotel interviews, the tourist bus, the cold drinks at Chowpatty, they realize they're dealing with a con artist who planned every detail weeks in advance. The headlines christen it, "The Great Mumbai Impersonation Heist." The story rockets into legend before the ink is dry. Detectives, stung by the embarrassment, launch a manhunt. They start at the Taj Mahal Palace Hotel, where records show a man named Mon Singh checked into room 415 on March 17th. Police comb the suite for any trace of the mastermind. It's been cleaned out, not a single personal effect left behind, not even a discarded receipt. A bellboy provides the only solid lead. Shortly after the robbery, Mon Singh returned to the Taj, calm as ever, and asked the concierge to call him a taxi. Investigators track down the driver, who reports dropping Singh in the suburb of Vileparle. There, the suspect transferred his briefcase-laden haul into an auto rickshaw and dismissed the cabbie with a curt wave. From that point, the trail evaporates. Singh and the loot melt into Mumbai's sprawl of 20 million people. Authorities circulate descriptions and issue a nationwide alert. Was Mon Singh even his real name? Almost certainly not. The Kerala address leads nowhere. Police briefly detain a man in Trivandrum whose identity seemed to match, but he has zero connection to the case. Another tip sends officers scouring the international airport for signs Singh fled to Dubai. Nothing. Every promising lead fizzles into dead air. It's as if the man never existed. Behind closed doors, embarrassed officials admit a hard truth. They've been outplayed by a ghost. The case becomes one of India's most sensational unsolved crimes, so implausible it will later inspire a Bollywood film called Special 26. The 26 recruits, after intense questioning, are cleared of intentional wrongdoing. They were pawns, not perpetrators. Victims of a con, not co-conspirators in a heist. As for Mon Singh himself, theories multiply. Some investigators suspect insider knowledge of law enforcement agencies, perhaps a disgruntled ex-cop or a con artist who spent years studying police protocol, memorizing the exact phrases officers use, the exact format of warrants, the exact weight of authority in a commanding voice. Others believe he had accomplices in the shadows, quietly scouting the target, forging documents, arranging the bus. But these are speculations. The concrete evidence is gone. So is the man. The thief who hired the police to rob a vault was never brought to justice. He vanished with an estimated $400,000 in gold and cash and left not a single fingerprint behind. His true identity, his background, and his ultimate fate are all unknown. Mon Singh remains a ghost story that Mumbai officers tell with a mixture of awe and humiliation, a case that made the mighty guardians of law feel foolish and exposed.